Hello, welcome to Bad at Board Games. I'm Brad Lake, and this is our first take on playing Gaia Project for the first time. Took us 3 hours. This is just our review. Me sitting down with my friend Toph, talking it over and what we thought about our first impressions. If you would like to watch the gameplay on fast forward, you can click the link down below. And if you like this, hit the like button and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Have a great day. Hello and welcome to Bad at Board Games. If you actually watched any of our little playthrough for the last 3 hours, more power to you.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
So, first impressions, Toph, you've been wanting to play this game for a while, so what do you think?
I need another playthrough. I like it. I like the complexity. I like having a lot of things going on across the board, a lot of different areas that we can play into, that we can pull resources from. I did not get my engine going fast enough, and so I think that kind of just slowed me down. I focused on the wrong things on Tech Tree. But in terms of impressions of the game, I like the game. I like the complexity. It's not too complex, but there's a lot going on, and I think now that I've got one pseudo play kind of under my belt, I feel like the next time I play, I'm going to know a little bit better of where I'm going to go, not as much, analysis paralysis in the gameplay.
I really liked, you definitely have to play to your race's strength. If you don't play to their strength, you're not going anywhere. And I like that it's a little bit of asymmetry, but we were able to play off of each other and kind of help each other out since it was a beginning game.
Yeah.
Of like, it's not like Root. I didn't have to sit there and I have no idea how to play your factions or your SOL, but at least this we could kind of go back and forth and be like, oh, this is the rule for that, and things like that. So for a heavier, medium heavy something game, it would be easier to learn.
Yeah. I did not play to my faction's abilities. I don't think. Not well enough. You did. So you continued to gain, or was it you gained the tokens here, the technology, a lot more than I gained kind of the ability to upgrade technology through my knowledge.
Yeah, because if you had been expanding, you would have gotten more on the tech tree.
But I kind of messed myself up in the beginning of the game because I got myself to a point where I had no income. And so when we did the income phase, I might have had ore, but I had no money. And so because I had no money, I couldn't build out to other places. Therefore, I didn't have the ability to gain the knowledge that my race should have done as I expanded, as I played.
And I would say if you're going through this, the first couple turns you're looking at the victory point conditions for your turn. That's important. But then the last half of your round, you basically need to be setting up your next turn. If you kind of like exhaust all your resources and then don't set up your engine for round 2, then you get stuck. Like it's almost like each phase has like the first 3 things you're going to do to try to get something done. The next 3 things you do before your turn ends and we go to the next round, or you pass, it has to be setting up the next round.
I think that's the complexity of this game. That's what makes this game kind of that heavier style game. I mean, it's not the heaviest game, but it's heavier in the fact that, yes, there's a lot going on that you can pick and choose to play from, but if you don't set yourself up, if you don't think in advance to the next generation or the next round, you can't advance. And I think that's where I finally lost the game to you.
So, yes, so this is actually the second game. We're going to Space Base was last week, and now, but with the asterisk that neither one of us knew how to play the game until now.
Yes, there were some mulligans, and I'm going to blame the fact that you own the game, that you had advanced look at the rules, but no, it was good. I kind of thought I could come back at the end. I thought I would be able to pull through. Of course, that's part of my strategy is I like to play the end game and go out with the end, but there just wasn't enough. And when I thought, I mean, that one turn that I took, 15 minutes trying to figure out what am I going to do, it set me up, but then you built another, or you had built another federation. Had you not built that federation, I think I could have been at least a lot closer. But that Federation pulled you up because I think you took the 12 point.
Yeah, I took the 12 point on that one.
And so that helped you quite a bit, yeah. And I played a different strategy. I should have taken the 12 points. I played another one thinking I could get more victory points in the long run. That kind of screwed me up a little bit, but it's good. I'll take the loss.
So, top 10 board game geek. Where do you think it falls? Do you think that's valid?
Yeah, I'd say it is. There's enough in this game. Now, I've not played Terra Mystica yet, and I want to. As I mentioned earlier, I've been looking to buy that game. To play that game, it seems good. It's a complexity level I like. Theme-wise, I don't know which I would prefer more. I like space themes, but I do like the other theme as well, Terra Mystica. But in terms of placing it, yeah. I mean, I don't know if yet I would claim this as my favorite theme. I do like it. But in terms of my...
Well, Terraforming Mars, it's going to take a lot to beat that game for you.
And Scythe, but yeah. I definitely greatly enjoy both of those. I would put this in the top 10. I think I would. I don't think this is a game that everybody can play. I don't think this is something that you can bring new players, new to the hobby, into a night and say, let's just play Gaia Project. No. This is going to be something that it's going to take people who have an understanding of complexity, an understanding of a lot of game mechanics. I mean, this is, goodness gracious, like every game mechanic in everything. Right. You've got exploration, you've got tableau building, you've got all these resource management. Building an engine in itself is not a beginner skill when it comes to gaming. And I think even within our gaming group, I think the few of us that play regularly, this is fine. But then on nights when we bring in other people, this is not a game that you can pull to the table. So, when it comes to like BGG's listings, I think of that listing more for the gamer as opposed to somebody who's just interested in playing games. I think this definitely goes to the higher end of that list. I'd put it in top 10. There's some in the BGG top 10 I've not played yet. I've played through, I think, most of them, but I've not played through all in the top 10 yet.
And we're working on that.
We are, because somebody doesn't like campaign games, so that throws at least one of them out.
I have Gloomhaven. We can sit there and play Gloomhaven.
Well, I think we own the top 10 between the two of us.
Yeah. Well, except for Brass.
Yeah, Brass Birmingham.
Yeah. But I wanted to get this done before I ever pick up Brass Birmingham. So.
It might be in my short list of being purchased. So
there you go.
One of the brasses at least, Lancashire.
He can buy that one. We'll go for that.
I almost picked it up this weekend.
That's okay. I want to play that one too. So this game is hard to table. So I spent quite a while, and I put everything in baggies anyway, right? And still having everything in baggies, having everything where it should be, like getting everything laid out, figuring out, okay, which tile goes where, just getting it all set up and getting it separated, that took time. So this is not, when they say easy to table, this is the opposite of easy to table. Great Western Trail, way easier to table than this, and that's not an easier. That's like a medium easy to get to the table.
Well, now you get into how do we start storing our games? Because this game, I don't think, I wasn't here for setup, but I don't think this is going to be that difficult to bring to the table and set up. Now that we know how to play, I think that helps. I think that's a big part of it, knowing where things are going to go. I'm blind as a bat, so having this all the way on the other side of the table for me was challenging. I think now that we know what's going on, we could store it in a way, we can bring it back pretty quickly to the table. There's not a whole lot of, there's a lot of components. But there's not a lot of things that have to go in a lot of special places that are not going to be unified. I think it can be pulled out pretty quickly. Definitely would be nice to have somebody else here. You could hand me all my pieces and it'd be set up. Right. So, that took a little bit more time. Especially with people who know how to play. I think it'll come quicker to the table.
I think this would be fun at 3 or 4. I'm not sure about bigger than that.
I don't know if I'd want to play it more than that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We haven't really even played without mulligans yet. So.
I think if we got to 3 people knowing it pretty well, then maybe 4, but that'll be in the future. It takes enough time to get the games we have onto the table as it is.
I will say, I'm surprised though with the time. A lot of what I've read about Terra Mystica especially is that people were sitting down for hours and hours to play this game. And I think, I mean, I have games that are going to take that long. I mean, I've played, 8 and 10 hour games of Arkham Horror. I've had games of Scythe that have gone longer, especially with newer players. If we all know what we're doing, we're all playing, quick. But if you don't know what you're doing, then we're doing top game, bottom row action before the next person plays. Terraforming Mars. I mean, that's one that's going to take 2-3+ hours, depending on who's playing and how you play. And
this took us 3 hours, and we didn't really know what
this
we were
took us
doing.
3 hours without. And how many times did we go back to the rulebook?
Right.
I mean that. In itself, and that's going to happen with any of these games. It's going to happen. I think that's the joke of the hobby is that half the game time is spent looking at rules. Yeah. I don't think it would have taken us 3 hours to play it if we knew what we were doing.
Yeah, I'm thinking we could get this down to 2.
I think. So, I do think.
So there is that. It's a deep game, but once you get going, you could probably pull this out and play it in about 2 hours. So take that for what it's worth if you've never played it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's one I want to play again. It's one I want to play several times so I can feel like I can get it. Things were starting to click at the end of it. I watched a couple playthroughs. I wish I would have read the rules. I almost looked to download a copy, to read up and see where everything is. I'm a visual learner, but I think it went fine.
And shout out to John Gets Games. He's got the best playthrough on this if you really want to learn how to play this. I highly recommend that over the other ones that I found out on the internet. He takes complicated games and walks you through it step by step.
Yeah, there's a couple other good ones, good playthroughs out there. But yeah, that was a good one. Having watched that a couple times helped.
Cool. So final thoughts?
I like it.
What's your rating? 1 to 10?
Well, not having played a game where I feel like I know what I'm doing yet, I'm going to put it somewhere. If I had to rank it right now in BGG, I'd put it at probably an 8.
I think that's about where I'd put it right now, too.
It has the potential to go up higher. I could see this going into my 9 slot. I don't ever give a game a 10 on BGG or anywhere in that matter. It's got to be downright perfect for that. But, I mean, for me, Scythe, Terraforming Mars, I mean, they're ranked up at 9s, which for me is about as perfect as it gets. So saying this is an 8 is not that much lower. I could see this going to a 9.
That's a good game.
I want to play some more races. I want to see some more of the symmetry of the game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the other thing I think is interesting about this game is that because you have some randomization of the rules and when they come out or each turn, the races you get I think 6 or 10. I can't remember exactly how many are in this. But that's going to keep this very different and unique. And because you have to play to their strengths, or if you don't, you're out of it.
Which I was not doing well. No, this game has replayability, and you see that especially the randomization of this track and the idea of wanting to play different strategies. Where do I want to upgrade my tech? Do I want to upgrade my tech? Do I want to focus on my knowledge? Do I want to focus on power? Do I want to focus, on expanding out, exploring into every tile region? Because that gives you points. I mean, that helps you. That helps you a lot.
Yeah.
So close.
And then these change too.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's really going to force you to play differently, while still having to conform to whatever your character is.
I need to figure out what I'm doing next time before I start.
There you go. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
It's been a good game.
And if you guys like this, hit like or subscribe. We're going to try to do some more of this, and I'm going to put him in front of the camera more often just because he's my best friend. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day.
Bye.